I heard you talk, kind of, it seemed like you hinted at it, that you have some sort of assessment sheet when you get a new student. Is
Yeah.
that correct?
Yeah.
Walk me through that.
I mean, the first thing that I would do is I let them talk. Like
Okay.
I try to remove them from the parent or guardian that brings them there, and let them talk about some things that they think they do well, some things that they feel like they don't do well, and then pretty much I have like it's broken down by their feet and their hands depending on who I'm working with and like how in depth they need to be. I do just kind of like hit them some ground balls or roll them some ground balls and kind of see
And what are you
where
looking for when you're doing that? Give me that
how they
breakdown.
move. Like I'm trying to see what type of athlete they are. So like we'll do footwork to start, and if they struggle to do like basic change of directions or basic footwork patterns, I know that maybe they're not as athletic as somebody else that can do it without that. So if I see somebody that needs that, we'll do a lot more athletic movements where we're involving like cone work and glove work, like learning how to move your feet, changing speeds, changing directions, and then maybe they have really good hands. So then maybe we don't focus so much on their hand play. It's more about getting their feet to be under control and
So if
playing.
you were to break it down, what are the main components
I
that
would
you would be
say
looking at?
I would say their hand-eye coordination would be the first
And
one.
that
I would
coordination?
say their feet, their body control, how they stop, change directions,
Hmm.
and then how well they catch the ball.
Okay.
Well,
Yeah.
then you try to combine them. So
Right.
then do feet and hands together and see how well they do that. And then I'll see. So like if I'm hitting somebody to ground ball and like they're running into it and they're catching the ball between their feet, I know we need to kind of talk about body awareness and spatial awareness and playing out in front of your eyes. And then I'll do some hand-eye coordination stuff where they're stationary. Can they catch balls across their body with both hands? Can they do it moving? Can they do it running? And kind of just assess them as an athlete. And then once I kind of have an idea of how athletic they are and how much of a challenge they need in order to fine-tune those things, then we'll go from there. But I would say a lot of it has to do with their eyes, their feet, and their hands.
Okay. Yeah, that
And
makes
I'll
sense. Yeah.
And then throwing. I think that I don't ever remember being taught how to throw overhand. I'm not sure I threw properly overhand now that I look back at what people are instructing now. But I don't ever remember being taught. But now throwing plays a big component in it.
Do you see a lot of kids that throw improperly?
I think they need some fine tuning and
Yeah.
some things to be mindful of. So like we'll play catch first before I start hitting them with ground balls. Like we'll just play catch like you would if you were with an older brother or sister or parent or guardian or a friend, and I'll kind of just see how they do that.
Yeah.
And then I'll hit them some ground balls, and then based on those two things and what they say, we'll kind of go to work from there. And like
Yeah.
the first one is very generic. Like I'll just kind of walk them through like basic two-handed plays and some moderate backhands depending on how well they catch the ball. And then like I'll go home and do my homework and kind of prescribe based on what I see.
That's cool.